んおい、君は参加できないぞ、ヨレンタ君。
はい、も
Yolenta.
ちろん分かってます。神様、バレませんように、バレませんように。手袋は汚れないように。
Whoa. Oh. Adventurous.
さて、キャスト博も来られたので本題に。
Whoa.
中東異教徒による古代ギリシア天文学の修正。神様、私ついてます。
Okay. Obviously, I saw her in in the opening, right? Getting introduced more and more to the rest of our cast. Pretty sure it's been like a couple of weeks since more than a month actually since I watched the last episode. Apologies, but didn't. I'm pretty sure Novak has mentioned that he has a daughter, right? I'm wondering if could she? Oh, that was beautiful actually, now that I'm looking at like the opening version of that animation. It is, isn't it? Yolanta's actually Novak's daughter. Could you imagine?
では、いつもお願いしてる通り、私も研究会に参加させてください。
それはダメだ。まだ君がこの仕事に向いてるか判断しかねる。何とは言わんが、君は我々とは明らかに違うからね。
Oh.
ええ、全くです。助手が優秀すぎるのも扱いに困りますね。
Eh? Assistant?
本質と無関係なところで君のすべてを否定する輩と出会うかもしれない。そしてその度心が折れそうになるかもしれない。というわけで執筆中の論文はどうだい？
今あるすべてを出したつもりで。
面白い。
え？
よくできてるよ。まだ若いのにすごいな。
本当ですか？
この機に実家にでも顔を出すといい。
実家。
Please do.
これが評価されたら図書館から晴れて天文台勤務だ。
Observatory. Okay. Okay. I love that. That was cute.
まずこの著者は相当優秀な人物だ。もはや先の3つの発想でやれることは達成していると言っていい。
A brilliant mind indeed.
それなら。
だがそれでも率直に言ってとても発表できる完成度には達していない。幼稚なほどの純粋さを感じる。不
Oh,
思議な著者だ。
juvenile
こ
naivete.
の仕事を引き継げるのは慎重な知性と
He's
時に
not
大胆
wrong.
な度胸を併せ持ったまさに完璧な英傑だけだろう。
そんな人どこに？
いる。私
Well, of course I know him. He's me.
一つ目、更新は作らない。死ぬまでに私が証明できなかったら私の関わった書物すべてを燃やす。
Foreshadowing.
すべてが守備よく運んで利益が生じた場合、分け前は9対1だ。
9 to 1.
俺たちが受け取れるのは9割までです。
何？
いや、確かこの手紙に利益の1割を誰かに渡すって。
Potetsky.
利益が生じた場合、ポトツキに1割を渡すこと。
我々は9割を分けま。
これでもう書いてない。
I really hope by the end of this show, they're actually gonna do it. Like they're gonna go back to Potetsky's like house, or meet the man himself. You know.
もうこの世から消えたぞ。
でも俺がまだ覚えちゃってるというか、多分あの手紙を残した人は箱を開けて読む人のことを信じてああ書いた気がするんです。何かが決定的に失われる気がして。
Oh, look at this.
何かってなんだ？
歴史というか。
history.
聖職者としてあれに触れた今の我々は地獄の入り口に立ったと思いますか？
ああ、入り口には立ってる。
I love
だ
that.
が天界のだ。
Ah, beautiful.
久々の家族団らんはいいものだな。
Speaking of families.
私も心安らぎました。
Well, there you
お父様
go.
も出張で忙しいですもんね。
まあな。お前も少ししたらまた職場に戻ってしまう。
Wild. They don't have to hide him. Like, I recognize the voice. Like, this would have been a shock. If you're reading the manga, you know, like, there's no voice to recognize.
でも私も他の方と同じ試験を合格してる。なのに他の方と扱いが違うのは。
I wonder if it's
し
because,
ょうがないことさ。
you
お
know,
前はまだ14歳だ。それに、あそこで働くただ一人の女だ。
gender.
お父様から冬場でも勉強できるようにとこの手袋をいただいた時から私の心は学者です。
Hmm.
だから私は神と真理のためなら引きたくない。
お前ももう立派に自立してるもんな。心配でつい出過ぎた真似をしたよ。すまなかった。
お父様、
応援するよ。
ありがとうございます。
I like the way how they were showing his emotions just through the very limited movements of his hands, you know.
ください。
Whoa.
何してる？行くぞ。
Oh. Oh. Okay.
施しなど無意味だ。貧民に施しを与えれば天国に行けるなんて私は信じない。平気で罪を犯す奴らだ。
聖職者様がそんなこと言うなんて。
I mean, I disagree with it, but I know people who think that way.
ここにつてが。
いや、ない。だからあっちから出向いてもらう。暇な上級市民が出題者になったり回答者になったりして腕を競ってるんだ。手分けしてめぼしい掲示板に貼って回ろう。
Dude,
あとは回答者が出るまでひたすら待つ。
Yolanta's gonna be the one to see it. She has to at this point. I mean, I hope she does. With the way she's being set up throughout the story in this episode thus far.
評価されたら天文台。論文が評価されたら天文台。
なんとピャスト博が褒めてくださったよ。新鮮で興味深いと。これは快挙だよ。名義は私で出してるし、けどあれは君の実力。
い
Yeah.
つも助けてもらって。
Yeah, that's the catch.
名義。
だから名義は私の名前に変えたけど、君の論文なんだから誇りに思ったよ。
Yeah, but nobody knows that I'm the one who wrote it, though.
いや、それはだって女性の論文なんて誰が読
Jesus.
むの？
The way he said it so nonchalantly, like
それは意識が欠けてるよ。
this is normal. I mean, it is at the time being,
女性
which
の名前で発表なんて危険すぎる。
makes the situation all the more insane to think about, you know.
君には才能がある。だから君が書いて私が発表する。私なら君を正しい方へ導ける。
And this has happened a lot
この
throughout
世界で
history.
のうまい動き方を教えられる。
私の名前は。
ないよ。もう諦めて。この世はそういうもんだから。
Give up on your dreams and die.
じゃ、また書けたら持ってきてね。
Kolbe is like, don't you get it? I'm doing you a favor.
ピャスト様。
Overheard the conversation, hopefully.
今この前の論文を君が書いたと
Yes.
それはですね。
Let's
自
see.
分で答えろ。
Let's
どう
see.
なんだ？
それは。
This could go either way. At this point, she's scared because Kolbe just spouted all that nonsense to her.
あの。
She's not gonna admit it.
女性の名前で発表なんて危険すぎる。女性の論文なんて誰が読むの？
私のものではないです。
そうか。
Oh, the way they're not showing his her face there.
賢いよ。
I do not like his face at all. the way they draw his eyes, just being happily, you know, it's very uncomfortable.
彼は善人だ。本当に私をかばったんだ。きっとここが私が見られる最上の景色なんだ。そもそも名前なんて本質じゃない。考えが幼稚すぎた。
I've been childish, says the 14-year-old, kind of showing how mature she actually is.
泣いたらまるで敗者じゃないか。泣いたらまるで問題があるみたいじゃないか。何か新しい題材を探さないと。なるほど。掲示板の問題にしては随分本格的な。というかこれ惑星の記録がないと解けないんじゃ。
Oh, it was a trick all along, if that's what I'm getting at. A trick, when I say trick, I mean it's like, it's a trick question that only someone who actually understands can actually answer.
やっぱり悪いことだ。でも悪いとかどうでもいいからあれの答えが気になる。
どうした？
バデーニさんの問題の前に人がいます。
はあ？もう今朝貼ったばかりだ。
回答しちゃった。
Let's go.
大丈夫だよね、さすがに男性名にしたし。
Ah,
いやでもここで誰かに見られたら。
well.
あの
This ominous music playing, like... Okay. Oh, I never really noticed it. Well, I mean, I do, but I never really thought about it. But the visual of this ending is basically, you know, our three current characters following in the shadows of Rafal. I also find it interesting that Yolanda is at the very end of the trail, right? Like, obviously she's the youngest out of all of them. So she's probably the one to carry on the torch for the future when, you know, if Oxy or Badeni, you know, kind of bite the dust. You know what I mean? We must become Icarus. Don't fly too close to the sun.
私は回答者じゃありません。ほらここ男性名。私はただの図書館の雑用係というか。
ではそのご紹介に合わせていただけますか。
ちょっと今会えないというか。
わかりました。では伝言をお伝えしたいのですが、ここでは少しそちらへ伺わせていただけないでしょうか。
This poor 14-year-old getting pressed on by a really old dude with an eye patch with facial scars. I'm liking the cast of our new characters thus far, though. Like, I already like them, but, you know, finally seeing them all kind of interact for the first time now, like, I'm already excited for, like, the dynamic that we're gonna be getting at in the future. I want to know about these three, though. You know, those three characters with the white capes and all. Like them. I want to know about them. I want to know what's up with them.
そういえば自己紹介まだでした。自分奥地って言います。
どうも。私はヨレンタと申します。
俺はこちらのバデーニさんの
雑用係です。
普遍論争ではどちらの立場を？
ユイメイロンです。アベラールを支持します。
Whoa.
私の主人様もユイメイロンです。
オッカムは少々過激では。
でも真理の探求にはある種の大胆さは不可欠かと。
あの掲示板の問題もそういう姿勢で。
はい。いや主人様がそうおっしゃってました。
Sure.
ついてるぞ。幸運な人物に巡り合った。
確かにこんな賢そうなメイドさんを雇ってる。
ああ、どう見ても彼女が書いて。
Yeah, obviously, but then he knows. He sees right through her.
それに何よりいいのは、あの話をしても密告される可能性が。
Yes, that is true. That is true.
密告したら自分自身も魔女扱いされる可能性が非常に高い。
Okay, okay.
だから女性は好都合だ。
そんな酷な。
それが現実だ。
Yeah.
男性と比べたら都合がいいだけだ。本当に話すかは慎重に見極めよう。
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But then he's very blunt about all of it.
なんというかあれはぶっ飛んでる。
ええ、昔の人々は突拍子のないことを考えたものです。よく言えば自由というか。
ちなみに異教徒のヘラクレイデスはご存知で？
はい。
おお、ではフィロラウスは？
あの馬鹿げた仮説のですよね。
すごいな。私は教会のものですよ。安心してください。宇宙の形を変えて大地を動かそうなんてあまりに無謀ですよね。
現在を背負った我々の宿命というか、この世が不幸な根拠というか。
ええ。
So Oxy's reaction there when she said that.
おや、地球儀とは珍しい。触っても？
よくわからなくなってきたので、そろそろ本題に。
もうしてます。もし仮に彼らの言ってる馬鹿げた仮説が広まってしまったら？
そりゃ大混乱でしょう。今のままでいられなくなる。
今のままでいたいですか？
は？
もし仮に我々は生まれながらに罪だけじゃなく自由も持ってるとしたらどうします？この世界は本当に動いてるとしたらどうだ？
やめてください。これは不適切です。
ええ、その通り不適切です。我々は正しい方向になど導かない。目指すのはただ一つ、真理だ。
Oh, beautiful.
回答者さんにお伝えよ。昼時にあの掲示板前で待ってると。
I also like the detail of the globe not being complete. Like we haven't explored the entire globe. That's why it's, you know.
女性だから？
いや、研究者だからだ。
地球が動いてる。
Lovely response there because she's a scholar.
コルベさんに報告しなきゃ。神様はこんなことお許しにならない。コルベさん。
I love that she's doing this during twilight.
今日は本題に入る前に話すことがある。皆も承知していると思うが、私はもうじき死ぬ。我々の宇宙論を完成させねばならん。今我々人類はプトレマイオスの宇宙を受け入れている。だが大衆が納得しようと我々だけは真理の探求を諦めてはならん。異教徒の神話にイカロスという者がいる。ロウの翼で太陽を目指し墜落したものだ。父の警告を軽んじた無知にある。我々はロウでダメなら鋼の翼を作り、太陽という名の真理へ挑み続ける。真の宇宙を完成させるためイカロスにならねば。
Title of the episode. Beautiful shot.
そこで何をしている？
ピアスト様。いや、この姿はですね。
She's not wearing her gloves.
研究会になぜ参加しない？成果がないというなら解雇するぞ。
主任や他の方々にも参加を許可してもらえずに。
女だからか。差別されてるな。
Oh, look at this.
いや、あるいは妥当な判断。
The composition here.
悪魔が取り付くのは女性が多いという論文を読んだことがある。
それは
Music.
それは本当に真理なのでしょうか？
聖書は真理だ。今の我々に正しい読み方ができているかはわからない。
love this. I love this.
今後見せたい論文があったら持ってこい。コルベではなく私にな。
Count Pias,
だったら許さん。
you're okay with me. Ah, beautiful. The show also does this a lot, where they only have like one source of light and it's usually a single candle. They've done that many times throughout the show.
ご主人は何と？
主人はいません。
Alright.
ヨレンタさん、我々に協力していただけますか？
はい。
ありがとうございます。
天文の研究所に席はあるので、その中から協力者を紹介できるかもしれません。
では誰を紹介していただけるんです？
ピャスト博です。
Oh. Oh, oh, oh.
まさかあなたが働いてるのってあのピャスト博の施設ですか？
Oh, you have history.
オクジー君、帰るぞ。ヨレンタさん、この件はすべてなかったことにしてください。
Oh, what?
何を言ってるんだ。働いてるなら分かってるでしょう。彼が我々に協力するわけない。今の天動説を超える完璧な天動説の証明に人生を捧げてる貴族だ。バカ言うな。ピャスト博に頼むなど無謀すぎる。
大地を動かす無謀さに比べたら些細なことでは。
Ooh. Oh.
ピャスト博は誰よりも天動説を重んじてる。でもきっとそれよりも真理を重んじてる。
分かった。
では案内します。
ちょっとさすがに危ないんじゃ。
Very
大
dangerous.
丈夫だ。もし捕まっても魔女に騙されたと密告する。むしろ好都合な提案かもし
Jeez.
れない。
But then he's like, it's her! It's not us, it's her!
ピャスト博にお目にかかれたこと大変光栄。
くだらん前置きはいい。本題だけを手短に話せ。
かつてピャスト博もその目で名を馳せた。
Oh.
もし以前よりも観測が不便であればいつでもオクジーをお使いください。
この話は教会が認める宇宙と異なっている。それに私の人生をかけた研究が間違いだと主張するものだぞ。
え
Oh.
え、ですが真理かもしれません。
Oh.
帰れ。
No, that got his attention, alright.
では本日は失礼いたします。
ピャスト家に生まれながら下等な天文など学ぶ気か。
Oh.
すごい。
こちらが教授室です。
天文をやりたいと言ったら紹介していただけて。
一族のはぐれ者を訪ねてくるにふさわしい理由だ。
この巨大な施設で一体何の研究を？
宇宙の完成だよ。
宇宙の完成？
ここにある膨大な記録は私だけが閲覧できる。次期私は真理にたどり着く。私にどう貢献する？
はい、私は遠目が利きます。
この金属アストロラーベをやろう。
Just like that.
そんな、これ一つしかない特注品じゃ。
優れた道具は優れた能力の人間
High
に
praise.
使われるべきだ。
That's very high praise.
君が夜空を眺めれば歴史が変わると。君こそが一族の誇りであると。
Okay.
宇宙を完成させねば。
Okay, okay. So PS was the person that we saw in the opening that was, you know, there's more hair, right? You know what shot I was talking I'm referring to, right? But yeah, that's totally him. All right, that was episode 7 and 8 of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. I am recording this review session like a couple of months since I last watch these episodes. I just finished editing these. I just finished editing this video, and I didn't record a review or a discussion portion after I finished watching the episode way back when. So here I am. But it is important to note that as of recording, I'm just like a few episodes away from finishing the show. So there isn't much. I'm not gonna be theory crafting in this review portion, and I pretty much already know like the fates of most of these characters that are on screen. But I gotta talk about the episode nonetheless. Here we are finally introduced to Yolenta. She is fantastic. She's great. I love the introduction of her. I love what she kind of represents in the grand scheme of things. Especially her role in in this time and age, in this era, where she has her, not just her role but also her gender role in society, and how people kind of perceive like women not being able to pursue such academic feats, otherwise you're going to be called a witch. And I feel like in a story like this, it would make sense, and it's almost kind of impossible to shy away from this topic. So I'm glad that we are kind of I'm glad that we have Yolenta as a character. But more importantly, I love that Yolenta is, of course, the daughter of our main antagonist, of Novak here. And I kind of mentioned during the reaction portion, right? Because I do find it interesting that presumably in the manga, if the shots of the anime are adapting faithfully from the manga panels, then technically speaking, we're not supposed to know who that is, right? We're not supposed to know who Yolenta's father is, because you would only be reading like the text bubbles, right? The text speeches. Here, that voice is recognizable. Recognizable. It is a iconic voice. You can't miss it. Like, you instantly know who that is. You know who the voice actor is, and you know who the character is. So I just find it very interesting that because of the different medium, right? We're dealing with manga and anime here. Manga readers probably would not know who her father is until the reveal much later on in the next set of episodes. Whereas us, anime onlys, we pretty much already got it in this episode, right? Even though they're not really showing it. So that's just like an interesting thought to have. But what I also love about that scene, now that I have kind of progressed further into the series, that was like the first time where Yolenta, or it's the first time the story acknowledges the importance of the gloves, right? Of Yolenta's gloves. Just again, like, it's one of those things, right, where a story sets up like one thing, the payoff is gonna be like a couple of episodes, in the future. But it is it's such a cool little detail, because when I was like going back and then editing, this video, and then when I reached that portion, I was like, oh yeah, she talks about it, and it shows like how important that glove is, and what it means, not just for her but to Novak as well. So that's a cool little detail. But yeah, overall, these episodes, especially the first one, where we are introduced to Yolenta, I thought was really good. Yolenta as a character immediately sticks out for me. She's lovable. She's this. She represents, I would say, like the new generation, right? This child. I don't want to say childish pursuit, but this uh what's a good way to describe it? She represents a new age of pursuit. She is the new age of the pursuit of knowledge. Her desire and her wants and needs to find the truth, to find this answer that she longs for, especially in her age, in her young age. I would say puts her above everybody else in regards to their own personal pursuits. You know, Oxy just started, I would say. Uh, not to say that he just started, but more so, he just found the new opportunity to continue what he has repressed all those years ago. Same thing with Badeni, right? These characters that we met, Oxy and Badeni, these are characters who have aspirations, who have these, desire to pursue the truths and what have you, but they're all kind of most of it is locked away from past trauma that they need to overcome, especially Oxy, right? And it's only now recently that he is able to look up to the stars and be able to see that, oh, it's not so scary, it's not terrifying, and coming to terms with the fact that he is living on Earth, and Earth is actually beautiful, and it could actually be heaven, and not really the hell where he seems that he was being punished to live on, and whatever, right? Same thing with Badeni, right? Badeni meeting with Oxy is no chance encounter. Badeni meeting him reignited this flame of, like, to pursue this truth once again, and then meeting Yolenta, kind of just this like chain reaction of like characters who depend upon each other, and they all kind of just synergize with one another in terms of like their camaraderie and their passion for for the stars above. Which leads us to Count Piast. It is no coincidence that after we are introduced to Yolenta, the youngest character in our cast thus far, or at least in this new chapter, right, in the second chapter of Orb, we are then introduced to perhaps the oldest character. We are introduced to Count Piast, who is on his deathbed, pretty much. The next set of episodes, ooh, you'll see my reaction soon enough on those scenes. But yeah, it's no coincidence at all that we are being introduced to the youngest and oldest characters in the show in these two episodes, because they kind of go hand in hand each other in terms of like their thematic characterization, right? These are characters who will dedicate and have dedicated their lives in pursuit of this one thing, right? For Yolenta, it will be in regards to heliocentrism, and for Count Piast, it has been about geocentrism, and for Count Piast, it is I'm talking a bit about like the next episode, because it kind of ties into that. But for Count Piast's a journey, it's about being faced with the idea, and it is being faced with the reality that you have probably spent your entire life pursuing on a lie or pursuing on an objective fault, right? It was never a truth to begin with, because the truth that you are searching for does not exist, right? That is his whole deal, right? It is coming to terms with the fact that he wasted all of his life pursuing this thing, right? It's not that he wanted to become Icarus and want to fly close to the sun or whatever. He was never Icarus to begin with. He was never really flying to the sun at all. Right? It's actually quite the opposite. He's going further away from the sun if he sees, geocentrism as this one truth that we are at the center of the universe and whatever, right? And we'll get to explore that in like the next set of episodes. But I just love, again, like the introduction of Count Pias in this episode and what it represents and what it means between him and Yolenza at the same time. But he is, again, he is also like this representation of, you know, what is it called? The sunk cost fallacy, right? Like he poured so much of his time, so much of his energy, so much of his life on this one thing that it's almost, he doesn't want to you know, he doesn't want to accept the fact that he was wrong, right? Because if that is the case, if he accepts that, well then what have I been doing this entire time, right? It's almost, it could render a person mad to, you know, to try and face that reality. You know, funny thing about all of this that I just said, I just finished watching 100 Meters the other day, this incredible film which is adapted from the mangaka of Orb's other manga. And it's really fascinating because this topic is also being discussed in that movie as well, right? This discussion of like why do you live, right? Why do you choose to go down this path, right? In 100 Meters, it's about running, right? So like the big question of the movie is, why do you run? Why are you running, right? In the case of Orb, it's, why do you look up to the stars? Why are you searching this truth that you believe in? And it's this incredible journey of, you know, of the years that a person will that a person will take, that a person will go through, and how much that will mean to that person. And it's also this really sad reality that one must face if the end result is if the end result is that you are wrong, right? You gotta face that fact. Count Pias represents the the people who are facing that fact at the end of their lives. Yolenza is facing this fact earlier on, so it develops into something more, right? Speaking of Yolenza, it's, you know, again, like it's about like her finally being faced with the idea of like heliocentrism and like, hey, this is where you should go. This is where you should aim, right? Don't look at geocentrism. Don't look at all of that. Debate that all you want. We gotta go here. This is the truth. This is the path. This is the answer, right? And she gets to do that earlier on. And it's because she meets these two lovable characters in Oxy and Badeni. They're fun. This trio is fun. And I cannot wait for more. Well, actually, I can wait. In fact, I've already have seen more. I don't know why I said that. It's a habit. So yeah, that's pretty much my very quick review mini discussion of these two episodes. I gotta put this, you know, I gotta put something by the end of this episode. Otherwise, it's just gonna be like 20 minutes of just reaction and no further review whatsoever. I feel wrong if that is the case, you know, like I feel like that's not right. I gotta talk something. I gotta yap about, like, gotta add something, you know, so here we are. But yes, I am a couple of episodes away from finishing the show. If you do want to check out early access and whatever, you know where to find me. It's on the Patreon. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you all next time for the next episode of Orb. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.